Hello and welcome everyone to this live demo session on SAP ABAP on HANA cum S4 HANA technical training with me Anubhav. In this live demo session, we are going to learn about introduction to ABAP on HANA with a live use case. My name is Anubhav and I have total 20 years of experience in the field of SAP and I've been working as an S4 HANA consultant since over last 10 years. I will be your trainer for this training of 40 hour, and in this demo session you're going to get an overview of this demonstration. So what can you expect in today's demo? We will understand the developer persona, who is this training for, and how can this training help you to utilize it to be in your career. We will then discuss the overview of this course. We will then followed by do a live demonstration in the system by creating our use case. Followed by that, we will see some of the FAQs asked by your seniors in the past. For my past demos, I'll try to answer these question and answers. So let's start and understand who's this training for. If you're working like William as a Scrum professional and would like to understand how HANA based developments happen in your company on a ABAP environment, this training is going to help you. You will understand the overall broad picture of S4HANA projects, including greenfield and brownfield, and what are the activities your development teams and team members will be performing during the migration to S4HANA. If you are an ABAP consultant like Shelly, who would like to embrace the change in technology and want to make and build your ABAP programs which are optimized according to HANA, this training is also going to help you. You will also get to know the new ABAP syntax with NetWeaver 7.4 onwards as part of this journey. Then, if you are working as a BW consultant like Ellie, would want to build CDS views for the purpose of data analytics and insights and expose these CDS views for analytical use cases to OLAP tools like Analytics Cloud or embedded analytics, this training is also going to help you. Finally, you are any SAP consultant, a technical advocate like Ashley, who would want to build amazing applications which are optimized and built using CDS views and OData services with full potential of S4 HANA. This training is also going to help you. Having said that, let's understand the overview of this training. What can you expect in the next 40 hours of this journey? For detailed course content, please check the description in the video or anubhavtrainings.com for day-wise course outline. This is just an overview. So in the phase 1, we will begin with our development tools like ABAP development tool on Eclipse and Business Application Studio. Set up these development tools and understand the new ABAP syntax, the evolution of SAP NetWeaver with S4HANA, including the frameworks like IDA and Fuzzy Search. We will talk about introduction to SAP HANA database and its architecture. You will understand how ABAP meets HANA and how to work with HANA based projects. Then we will discuss about S4 HANA conversion. What are the types of conversion and implementation methodology for S4 HANA? What are the activities an ABAP developer supposed to do in the conversion projects? You will understand custom code conversion, including building CDS views and VDM layer in S4 HANA. We will have then complete end-to-end CDS view training with AMDP, ABAP managed data procedures, OData services, and Fiori apps. You will learn how to build end-to-end transactional and analytical application, including embedded analytics, which are the need of an hour from any technical consultant as part of this journey. Having said that, let's understand what we see today. In our today's demonstration, I will first start with our development tool, which is called ABAP Development Tool on Eclipse or ADT. Then we will see how to use the ADT tool to create your first CDS view in the system. After creating our view, we are going to expose this view to a Fiori application, which is part of embedded analytics portfolio. So we will create a end-to-end application in this journey and show the result to the user. Finally, we will enhance it with our required components to give a shape to this analytic application with slicing and dicing of data. Nothing is complete without a real-time use case. So I have got you a very easy to understand use case based out of the most recent current affair, which is Olympics 2024 in Paris. So I have got a data set of Olympics report of different countries and the medals which they won during 2024 Paris Olympics. We would want to analyze the Paris Olympics data recently held by each country and the number of medals each country have gone under different categories. To be able to do this, we are going to design and develop an end-to-end application. So let's get started. First, I will introduce you to my dataset in the live system. Don't worry. In the next class, I will show you how do I access this system, how do I install desired tools in my system to be able to access these components that I'm going to cover in the next class. Since it's a demo session, all the required tools are already configured in my laptop. But in the next class, I will show you how can you configure these tools in your laptop for your company system or our server. Okay, so here we have got the Olympics data, which contains country, medal type, gender, sport, event, and counter. So if I press F8, this is my data set for different countries winning different models under different categories and events. We will be utilizing this data to build our analytical application. So let's get started. I'm going to head over back and start with creation of a CDS view. So what is a CDS entity or CDS view? CDS views, by the way, are deprecated and CDS entities are the new concept. CDS stands for core data and services. These are semantically rich data models built in S4 HANA systems. CDS is extension of SQL in ABAP. So if you're an ABAP developer or a BW consultant, you are designing reports, function modules, BAX queries, all of that, what you do typically with SQL, you can do with CDS now. It offers you to design and develop semantically rich data model. What do we mean by semantically rich data model? Which means you can enhance these objects with additional capabilities, so-called annotations. With the help of that, you will be able to design and develop your rich data models. That is what you will see in the journey. So what we would want to do, use this data set of Olympics to enhance our view. So basically CDS views and entities are created in a ABAP system. So you'll have a SAP S4HANA ABAP system where we will create our CDS entity. I will explain later on the difference between CDS view and entity in detail when we go to the detail unit. So we will create this, and to be able to do, we use a tool called ABAP development tool on Eclipse. This is the tool as a developer you will use to create one. So let us go ahead and create our CDS entity on top of database table. You would see a lot of similarity between SQL and CDS entity when we create them. So I'm going to head over back. I will use this database table, go back to my system and create a new other and search for core data and services. So you can see here we have many options to choose. I'm going to teach all of it in the training in detail, but we'll choose data definition now. I click on next button, give the name. So Z, let's say CDS Olympics, Olympics Analytics 2024. I click on next button, and then I will choose my type of object I want to create. As I mentioned, we will create a CDS entity. A CDS entity is the alternate of creating SQL, which is basically creating semantically rich data model in S4 HANA. I will choose that. We are living in 21st century where the tooling is very powerful. You can see this tooling over here. This is very, very powerful and allows us to generate the basic skeleton of our data. I will click on finish. A skeleton of this entity gets created. And now we will put here the name of the table. You can see it very much look like a select query where now I can choose my columns. Above, you can see these are called annotations. They have a special significance when it comes to developing your artifacts. I'm going to cover these annotations in detail in unit number 12 and 13. For demonstration, I am right now skipping the explanation of these annotations. So now I'm going to control space and insert all the columns of my database table. Additionally, I will just go back and enable a service. So for that, we use an annotation called odata.publish. This will then automatically create a web service for us. This web service is called OData service. So what will happen now? On top of this CDS, we are creating a web service. This service is called OData service. OData is a open data protocol to expose your data on the internet. So simplest way is, if you would want to consume this data in browser like Android application or some application, you would create OData service and expose this data from your OData service on the internet through the CDS entity. That is what we are going to do. So this will now create a service, web service for us. Perfect. I'm going to activate and a service gets created. So where can we see this service? So you can see when you hover the mouse, a service got created with the same name as CDS entity underscore CDS. We'll copy that and then we will register this. So we go to control 6 and go to a transaction code /n/iwfnd /mint service to register our service. Enter, click on add service and we will put the service name local. Enter. So now I'm registering the service, which internally creates a service node in SICF, in Internet Communication Framework. So I click on add local. Okay. Congratulations. A service has been created now and it has been registered successfully. My next step would be to test this service. So we will head over back over here, and in the outline view, you can actually see the OData service. So this is a simple way to expose your data on the internet. Yes, and you can see it's launching up and I can access my service over here in the browser. So it's just a warning it's giving me. I just have to go back and test it over here. Just a warning, it's booting up and that's my service. You can see it's loading up and this is our service which has been created now. Fabulous. So our next step is to access this service and view the data. And that is how we can access the entity set to access our data. So this is our entity set name, and then we are going to access our entity set to view the data over there. Yes. So this is my web service. Why am I creating this web service? Because ultimately we want to create a application, and this is called a Fiori analytic app. Some of you have heard about Fiori, some of you have not. Don't worry. In this training, I will treat you as a fresher to explain you each bits and pieces about Fiori, and then only we will create our app. But for demonstration, I've got an end-to-end use case and I would need to create a Fiori app. The tool which we use to create Fiori app is called a BAS tool, Business Application Studio tool. I will show you the setup and connectivity using this tool in unit number 10. For demonstration, I have already set up the BAS tool before our demo class today. So this Fiori app will utilize the OData service, which we just built in our training. Yeah. Okay. So it's time to go to Bash tool. It's a web browser based tool. You can see this is how the Bash tool look like. I will go to projects directory to create a project in the Bash tool. If you are new to Bash tool, don't worry. Anubhav will cover every single minute detail about the Bash tool for you as part of this training. Yes, I will do that. Okay, so this is our Bash tool, which we will use to create our project. I will also change the settings, theme, color theme to dark theme, which looks much better. So now we are going to create a new project, and for that we are going to use a template. As I mentioned, we are living in 21st century where the tooling is very powerful. We have to write less and less code to design and develop our applications. So even though you not have any idea about Fiori, you still will be able to create and design a beautiful Fiori app. So let's choose create, and we are going to create Fiori app of type Fiori. Next, and we are going to create a analytic Fiori app, and this type of application are called as analytic list page. This is one of them. I click on next. I will now choose my data source for creating an analytic app, and we will be selecting our data source. I have already configured here, so connect to a system, and before the meeting I have already created a data source. I will show you in our session 10 how to create connection to your company system as a data source in the BAS tool. So for demonstration, I already have one, and there it is going to load the list of services. So what is the name of our service? Name of our service was same name as the CDS view name. So I'm going to go back and search our CDS view name over here as a service name. So let us provide that. And now we can proceed next to get our application created. We can ignore this warning and then proceed further to choose our data set in this CDS view. So everything is pre-configured. We are just going to create a application now, and I can say Olympic dashboard application. That's my analytic application I'm creating, and I click on finish to give a shape to the app. So in this training, you will see end-to-end life cycle of the Fiori application, how to design, develop, test, run, package, deploy, move it to production system. Everything I'll cover as part of our detailed training. Now we can expand it, and this is our app. We can just get started our application for testing purpose by clicking the run button. Will then boot up our application. So this is our application which we've got here over here, and we are just going to open this application info. So you can see it is just going to open in few seconds. The application info. Come back, F1, open application info to load up the info of our application, and then we are going to preview our application. So let's start and preview our application now. And it's going to just launch the application preview for me here. Let's run. We will get pretty much a empty application right now of type analytic list page. So within 30 minutes, we were able to create a data model, a web service, and a application. You can see it looks pretty much empty. It's time to add some filters and some columns in the table. So the application composed of three sections. First is the filter section, second is the chart section, and the third is a table section. To be able to configure these sections, we are going to use semantic rich data model, CDS. So we have annotations in the system which we can add. I will cover detailed documentation of this annotation in unit number 12, 13 and 14 as and when we use them. But for demonstration, I will use them here. So first I'll create a selection field for country, position 1. Then I will also create a field for medal, position 2. I will activate and you will see that I'm going to get two fields on the UI now. If I refresh, we get two selection fields on the screen to filter our data that we are going to see. So it's just booting up and there you go. You can see country and medal type. Good. So our next step is to create columns in the table. So we will design a table. So for that we use annotation line item. So my first column will be country, second will be medal, third will be gender, fourth will be sport, and fifth will be event. So five columns in the table I'm creating. I will activate this and now I'm going to head over back, reload again. You will see the impact of annotation. It will automatically create columns for you in the Fiori application. So this way you will learn how to develop variety of Fiori applications in our training without any knowledge on Fiori. So I click go button and you will see that it will show the data. There you go. So if I want to see the medals which were won by Italy or Japan, I can search and it does the filtering for all the Japan medals. Wow, nice. Superb. So what is my next step? To get a chart, I want to show total number of medals per country. Which country won how many medals? So what we want our x-axis and y-axis usually, right? This is how we create chart in school days. X-axis where we put category. It is called as dimension in SAP. So in SAP we call it as dimension. And then we have the value on y-axis. This is called measure in SAP. So when you're creating a chart in SAP, we create dimension and measures. So on x-axis, we will plot countries like China, India, US, Japan, and then we will show the medals accordingly in the y-axis. So let us go ahead and mark this as well in our CDS. So we can add a chart annotation and we will put here the chart type as a column chart. We will put dimension details. I want to use country as a dimension and we will put measure details. I want to use the count, this counter as my measure. So system can aggregate. So I would want to also say that by default, you have to sum the count of medals which each country have acquired. Yeah. So then we will put dimension attributes to plot my country on x-axis. So we will say my dimension is country and we are going to put it on as a category. On x-axis we are plotting. Then we put measure attributes. We will put measure and measure name is counter. And this measure will be put on x-axis as a data point. Yes. So that's my measure attribute. Great. So this will plot a chart for you out of the box. So that is how we configure our semantically rich data model and our UI will get created automatically. So I refresh now our application and we should be getting a chart, a table and a field on the screen. Let us see. So we click on go button and there you go. You can see the countries with their medals. Nice. I can just see the chart alone. I can see pie chart, change the chart type on the fly. Yes. So that is how you can configure a beautiful application in the system with the help of the analytic list page application and CDS. So I hope you got a brief idea about what we are going to learn in this training. How are we going to approach with this demonstration step by step with all the tools configured, and you all will be able to do hands-on properly after the training is covered. Yes, so this is the way we are going to go through this entire journey. Having said that, let me move to some of the FAQs asked by your seniors in the past who have attended the similar training like this. So, do I need to have prior knowledge on HANA? No, we will cover HANA foundation for you in this training. How much ABAP knowledge is required to learn ABAP on HANA? Only data dictionary, internal table, basic syntax, function modules. That too only required 30% of this course. Rest all topics are as new as for any ABAP developer. So you don't need to have much knowledge on OOPS ABAP or much knowledge on ABAP. Only few topics like new ABAP syntax, they would need ABAP knowledge. So even BW consultants can join. I'm a BW consultant. Can I learn ABAP on HANA? Yes. And you must, because these days, any embedded analytic projects, they are asking you to build CDS views in your company. How much deep knowledge of OOPS ABAP is required? Very basic, like class, interface. Basic, if you know, more than enough. What about server access? We can arrange a server access for you if you don't have one in your company. In my next class tomorrow, I will guide you how to access server access to do hands-on practice of this training. That I will guide you in the next class tomorrow. Okay, which version of HANA and S4 HANA are we going to use in this training? So we are going to use SAP S4 HANA latest version with HANA 2.0 and ABA layer. That is the latest version we will be using for S4 HANA. How much of the time we spent on CDS view in this course? So over 30 to over 40 to 50% time it will be spent on CDS, AMDP, all these latest topics. Obviously, the some of your goal is to learn CDS entities and CDS views in this course. So a significant chunk and time we spend on CDS. Do I need prior OData knowledge also? No. I will provide complimentary session on OData services. You don't need to have any prior knowledge. Can I also take this course in video mode if timing doesn't suit me? Certainly, yes. You can opt this training even in video mode. That is certainly possible. You can go for that. What tools do we use in this course and how do we use them? So we will be using ADT, and in the next class tomorrow, I will show you how to set up ADT tool in your laptop and access your server. We will also use the BAS tool like I did in the demo, and I will also show you how to set up and connect BAS tool with your company system. How to join this course? To sign up this training, you have to email us on contact@anubhavtrainings.com. That is the way you can email us, contacting us for the training, and we will enroll you for this journey. Having said that, this comes to the end of our today's demo session. I hope you enjoyed the demo session. Thank you once again for your time and attention, and I hope to see you in my next class tomorrow at the same time. Till then, goodbye and see you.